Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Helix SMP. In this video, I'm going to be trying to get a little bit more done on my base. There's been a lot of talk of Season 2 and stuff recently, just among the members of the server. So I want to start pumping out a bunch more videos and try to get my base actually... Oh, sorry about that. Actually finished before the season ends, because I don't think it's going to be ending for a little while still, but, you know, I just want to make sure that I have everything done, just in case there's ever a chance of, you know, a public world download for you guys to be able to download the world and explore it for yourselves. I want to make sure I actually have my base done and everything, in case you guys want to stop by my base. And of course that won't be actually, you know, a public server thing. It'll just be a world file that you can download, like a single player survival world. But yeah. So we're going to be working on the base a little bit. And I'm coming to the shopping district before we actually begin work on the base, because I want to see if there's any more sea lanterns for sale. I want to use those for some lighting in my base. And, coranimal has some enchantment books here now. They're actually pretty cheap, too. I guess that makes sense. He has a big villager thing. Alright, so there's not many sea lanterns left. So let me go find a, ender chest. And get some diamonds so I can get those. But pretty much what I want to do for this episode, at least, is, I'm gonna throw some of this in there, that way I have space. But I want to... I'm just gonna take that with me. My mind's all over the place. I haven't recorded in a couple days. So, yeah. But I want to, get the pathway in my base built, or the walkway on the interior. And I want to get, 1 for 24, okay. So I want to build the pathway and try to get some lighting in, maybe start building up the walls. I do have very limited time to record today, so, I'm not really sure how much recording I'll actually be doing. I'm just gonna take that many. Not many people have really been on the server recently, so I don't know how many people are going to be buying stuff. That's kind of why I'm not really working on the shop much right now, because I don't know how much people are really going to be on the server, especially how much everyone is wanting Season 2 to start. It kind of almost feels like me and coranimal are the only two that still want Season 1 to keep going, because we've, you know, still been on pretty often working on our bases. And I think Ace wanted this season to continue too, because he just got a bunch of progress done with this, so. Yeah, I'm trying to think of ways to kind of encourage the other members to still stay on the server and, you know, just find activities to do, because from what it seems like, everybody kind of has the mentality that I had not too long ago, where the world kind of becomes stale and pointless once you've got everything, you know, like once you've beaten the dragon, you've got all your farms and everything set up. Quite a while ago, or not really quite a while ago, actually, within the year, I've kind of began learning more of, like, building just for the looks of the world instead of, like, usability. I can't really think of the word that I'm trying to think of. But, most of the time when I would build in this game, it was like, if it doesn't have a purpose, there's no point in building it. Like, you know, I'd build, like, a smelting room, or a furnace room, and, a chest room, and, you know, a place for me to sleep and stuff like that, and then build a couple farms to have materials going. And then once I was done building that and I'd beaten the Ender Dragon, it's kind of like, well, what's left to do? I mean, there's no more purpose for any of the stuff that I've built. But I've kind of recently started to learn more like just building for decoration's sake and making the world look good and all that. So I kind of hope that maybe there'll be a way to kind of encourage everyone on the server to just get on and be able to build just to build, you know. Oh, well, there's my creeper farm. I guess it's a direct tunnel to that. Don't want to fall in. But yeah. I think that is one of the... There's a couple reasons why I think that, you know, everybody's kind of quit wanting to play on the server. And, you know, one reason is what I just said, is the fact that maybe not everyone really is in the mindset to be able to just build to build, or build for building's sake instead of building for productivity. So, and that is a very hard thing in Minecraft to, you know, learn and get used to. Because it took a long time for me to quit just restarting new survival worlds every time I beat the Ender Dragon. Because the early game in Minecraft is just a lot of fun because you always have something to do, and then once you get past the early game, it's kind of like you have to really use your imagination and creativity in order to make the game fun. And sometimes, you know, I don't know why that didn't work. But sometimes it's just really hard to be able to, you know, get into the mindset of, okay, you know, let's just build this big castle. It doesn't need to exist, you know, it doesn't benefit me in any way, but it looks good, so let's just build it. You know, it's really hard to kind of get into that mindset sometimes. So I feel like that's a mindset that some of the other server members and, you know, we all need to kind of get into the mentality of is we got to just kind of build things that look good just to build them instead of, you know, like, okay, how will this benefit me in the long run? So I don't really know if there's a way that I can help the other server members to, you know, get used to having that mentality, but I feel like that's one of the reasons why people have gotten so burnt out on the server, and, you know, there's so much talk of Season 2, because everybody is an early game player. They like building things up for the first time, and getting their base set up, and then once they've got the base set up, going to beat the Ender Dragon, and once they've got that done, they feel like there's nothing left to do. But that kind of shuts off, like, the big, you know, point of Minecraft, is having fun, being creative, and, you know, making your world. So I feel like that's a mentality that all of us on the server kind of need to get used to looking at a bit. And, you know, we just got to try to expand our thoughts a little bit, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You know, instead of just playing to beat the Ender Dragon and then not knowing what to do after that, we need to kind of think of things to do to keep us busy. That's kind of why I wanted to do that's like why Ace started the tag mini game, and I'm wanting to start the scavenger hunt, because it gives everybody something to do and keep them entertained while playing. So I did something wrong. Because that is not even. I'll figure it out in a bit. But yeah, that's just... Oh, I see what I did. That's 4 wide, and this is... Nope, never mind. I don't see what I did. Huh. I'll figure it out. But, yeah. So it's kind of like... I've been thinking about that a lot recently, is that, we need to kind of figure out... I don't know. I don't really know what I'm trying to say. Just... Everybody on the server kind of seems to play for beating the Ender Dragon, and then once that's done, they feel like there's just nothing left to do. Which isn't true. There's so many different things that you can do. You just have to really, you know, put your mind to it and just build something. But yeah. So that's something that I feel like we all have to improve on, because even me, I still get to that point where I'm like, okay, this is getting old. Maybe it's time to move on. Oh, wait, nope, I see what I did. Okay, I didn't do anything wrong. I just forgot over here. Okay, but yeah. That's something that I think all of us on the server need to work on, because I feel like for you guys, the viewers, it won't be as fun of a series to, like, you know, be involved in and watch if we just beat the Ender Dragon every season and then completely restart. So, I feel like if we all kind of get into that mentality of, let's just build for building's sake and try to make things that look cool and do fun events and stuff like that, that'll be more fun to watch, and I don't know. I could be completely wrong in what I'm saying, and everybody gets that already. It's just, you know, I don't know. The other reason, though, that I think everybody's getting bored is because, you know, there's the cave update. And it's such a behemoth of an update that people have been asking for so incredibly long now, and now that it's, you know, announced and a thing that is guaranteed happening, we're all just kind of getting bored waiting for the update to come out and not really wanting to continue the world because we want something new and fresh. So I feel like that could be another reason why everybody's kind of bored of the server already and wanting to move on to Season 2 and do things. But I feel like it's best for us to wait until the update comes out to start a new season, because you know, it'll just, the same thing will happen again. We'll get into the world, we'll kind of do our own thing for quite a while, for a week or two, and then we'll build up enough to be able to beat the Ender Dragon. We'll have the whole event where we beat the Ender Dragon. And then once we've beaten the Ender Dragon, we'll go on for another week or so of the server, you know, quickly decreasing in activity, and then all of a sudden everybody will be wanting to do a new season. So I feel like that's just going to be the same loop that happens until the new update comes out, and that's why I kind of want to, it's kind of why I want to talk about, like, the whole, you know, we need to put our creative minds to use and start building things that look cool instead of just building things that are functional. So yeah. I haven't actually talked to any of the server members about this, by the way. This is just, like, the first time it's really popped into my head, and I've kind of realized, like, maybe that's why everybody's doing it. Because when I go to other people's bases, pretty much all that's really there is farms. You know, it's not really, like, there's no big extravagant builds and just cool things to see. It's mostly farms, and, you know, farms are cool to see, but, like, there's no real just building, I guess. And here in a minute, once I get this wall built up, I think I'll stop working on the base for the episode, maybe, because we got that done, and that was, like, the main thing, I guess, for this episode. But I want to kind of fly around and show examples of what I mean, of, like, everybody's just building for building's sake and not really for creativity. But yeah, so let me get some more rockets real quick, and I'll have to repair my Elytra soon. Hopefully I'll have enough to be able to do it, but my rockets are in my ender chest. So let me go down to that real quick. Grab some rockets, and we should be good for a bit. Hopefully my Elytra won't break while I'm gone. Alright. So, for my first example of kind of a base that, like, just has functional things and doesn't really do too much creatively right now, is Jadens Base, and I think Red might be living over here too. I'm not really too sure, because I haven't seen much change with his base when I go to explore it. But this is Jaden and I think Red's base. And they have started building, like, a little village over here, but Jaden hasn't been on for a while. He said that he's, you know, kind of feeling bored of the server and everything, like a few of us are. I don't really blame him for it. I get it. You know, I was in the same position where, like, once I built all the functional stuff and got to the end game, it was like, well, what's the point? But you see, like, you can see where they're starting to kind of plan out a village, and how it, like, there's buildings plotted out around here and a bridge and more over there. And if they really got to work on this, they could make it look really cool, and it would be a cool thing to explore later on down the line. But the main things that they've really got built is like the tree farm, or not, well, I don't know if there's a tree farm here yet, but like there's super smelter and, you know, whatever other things are over here. I'm not really sure what all of this does, but like, you know, they got their functional stuff built. They have their house that they live in. They've got their nether portal. And then up here they have their mine shaft. And it all looks good and everything, you know. They're nice builds. But they're all functional. And then once you've got all your functional stuff built, it's just kind of like, well, what's next? And then that's where stuff like that comes in, where there's not really much function to just kind of building a village, but it looks nice. And I think if we kind of get into that mentality and learn to kind of have fun with building creatively instead of functionally, then it'll help out a lot. And I have no clue how these are alive. Because those are, I think those are, well, they might not be coral. I don't know. They're probably not coral. I think they're the nether things. But yeah. I don't really know what that is. But this is a base that kind of suffers from the everything's functional, but they haven't really built much just for being creative. And then, like my base over here, you know, I have my house, I have my tunnel to my farms, but I'm also building a bigger house because it'll look nice, and I'm planning on building the cliffside and stuff. And that's kind of an example of, like, you know, building to make things look good instead of building functionally. And yes, this has function. It's got a creeper farm under it. It's going to have villager stuff under it. It's got a big storage room. But also, what's the point in all this area and then the second floor that I'm going to do? You know, it just looks good. And then what's the point in making all these cliffs? It looks good. And I'm having fun working on all of it. So it's just kind of like a thing that I think we all need to learn a bit. And, you know, just, it's kind of hard to explain. Like, let's go over to Ace's base real quick. Because he is someone that, you know, has really learned the whole building for building's sake instead of building for functionality. Because, you know, he has his base and it serves a function over there. You know, his tower. And he didn't even have to build a big tower like that. He could have just built a box and it would have worked for him, and he could have done everything that he ever wanted to do, and then moved on to another world. But instead, he filled this ravine with glass to make it look like it's got the kind of liquid in it, and then this is pouring out, creating a liquid from the water and coral and everything, and it's a giant fish tank type thing. And yeah, his storage room's on top of it, so you could argue that, you know, it serves function, but also, he could have just had a floating platform like he had for a while, and he didn't have to build that. And I'm not sure what this is, but, you know, this didn't have to be here either. But he's building it. And then, you know, it's just, there's no functionality to a lot of the stuff he's building, but it looks good, and it's creative, and it's fun. And then you go over here to Jiggy and Wxndzz base, and, you know, they're kind of in the boat where they're really wanting to start a new season. You know? Or at least I know Wxndzz is. Jiggy, he's been off the server for other reasons, but, you know, I won't go into that. It's, you know, personal stuff with him. I don't want to impede on his personal life if I talk about it in a video. But, yeah, you see, like, they have their big pumpkin farm, they've got their iron farms, they've got creeper farms. And honestly, their base is one of my favorite looking bases because, you know, they've got this house which looks really nice. They've got over there which looks nice, and that looks awesome. I really like the way that that looks. And then they've got, I don't know how to get to the whole underground area. Is that what I think it is, those banners? I'm going to ignore that for now. But, like, if I can figure out how to get down to it, they have, like, a whole underground system. And I don't know, that's just a mine. I really don't know how to actually get to it. Well, this is a thing. Okay. Oh, no, not over here. Okay, maybe it's in Wxndzz base. He has a door missing for some reason. But, let's go over here real quick. And I'll close that way nothing gets in. Well, I really don't know how to get to it, but if you watch Coranimal's video where he tours the world, you know, that you can see that they've got a huge tunnel system underneath. And it looks good, and some of it's functional, some of it's not. And a lot of their base looks like it was built, like, they have a good mixture. Like, their base is kind of what I think more of us server members need to kind of strive for. Because they have a good mixture of, it was built for functionality, and it was built to look good. Oh. I think I found it. Whoops. Oh yeah, here it is. See, they've got this big tunnel system. It's got their super smelter in it, and it has a tunnel, and they got a little storage area over here. And then the tunnel keeps going to even more areas branching off. But it just, you know, like, they didn't have to do a lot of the things that they've done. Wait, was it really just right there? Am I that stupid? Okay. But, you know, it just, they didn't have to do a lot of the things that they did, but, you know, it's a good mixture of functionality. Like, look at this bed. All they had to do was come up here and place a bed down and sleep on it. But they did this. And it looks good. And it works. So, you know, it's just kind of like, I guess the horse is going to sleep with me. But, you know, and they didn't have to do this balcony area over here. But I think this is kind of what more of the server members need to strive for. And I'm not going to go all the way over to Coranimal's base, but he's building like a big jungle temple, and he has all kinds of really cool stuff over there. I really like his base too. But I think this base might be my favorite one of the server so far, because I just really like the look of it. But yeah, I just kind of want to talk about that for a bit. Like, you know, maybe some of the other server members will see this, and maybe it'll help inspire them to just get on and build things because it looks nice and not just because it works for something. But yeah, what am I gonna title this? I'm probably gonna title it like a message to the server members, or base progress, and a message to the server members, something like that. I don't know. Maybe that way they can see it, and maybe it'll help them be inspired to get on and build some stuff. I don't know. It's kind of what I'm hoping for, because I really don't want the season to end, because I think, like, this is one of my favorite survival worlds that I have ever played on. Like, just what I have set up here personally, with my big tunnel, and it goes to all the farms and stuff, you know, all the spawners, and what I have planned to do for my base. This is one of my favorite survival worlds that I've played on so far. And I'm really not ready for the season to end yet, but if things keep going the way they are, where everybody's bored of the server, then it's probably going to end pretty soon. So, you know, I'm just trying to say some things that hopefully inspire the other members to keep going, and, you know, who knows what we could do. So, yeah. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video here. Hopefully you guys as the viewers enjoyed, and hopefully any of the server members that see the video, this inspires you to be able to, you know, try out some new play styles. Just kind of build to build instead of build for functionality and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.